The Yankees played this game as the exact blueprint of how they want to win baseball games post-trade deadline. The exact way, right? I mean, you didn't get what you want out of Fried. You didn't. But truth be told, you built the bullpen so dominant that that's all you should need out of Fried.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. This episode is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. Go to 5hourenergy.com and use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. It's only valid through September 30th. You can order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, are we shocked by Monday night's results?
It's like they're competing daily for the worst loss of the year over and over again.
Yeah, they're in a spiral. They're in a death spiral. We're going to get into it in a moment. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified whenever our videos go live. We also have a TikTok page. If you're there, follow us, if you can, at LockedOn_Yankees. On today's show, previewing Game 2 of the series between the Yankees and the Rangers. We'll be taking our Tuesday trek through the minors. But first, as I said, this team is in a death spiral, and even Aaron Judge returning to the lineup later today might not even help them.
I don't know if it would have done anything if he was in the lineup today.
Yeah.
Like earlier yesterday. Like, what would it have done? The Yankees played this game as the exact blueprint of how they want to win baseball games post-trade deadline. The exact way, right? I mean, you didn't get what you want out of Fried. You didn't. But truth be told, you built the bullpen so dominant that that's all you should need out of Fried. And you get out of Fried, start with the lead. You go from Weaver, who was electric, right? You get Duvall in the game, who was really good. You get Bednar, who was really good. And then Devin Williams, we can only sit here, Stacey, and say that, oh, he let a changeup hang over the zone so many times this year. Because he's done it so many times this year where he's only left a changeup over the zone about 3 times in his career prior. Right. So I don't know how that keeps happening every single game. There's another changeup left in the zone, but it happened again. And then you leave Jake Bird in the most impossible situation ever to be able to get 3 outs. It's just unfair to him in that point. But other words? I mean, what else am I supposed to sit here and say? I mean, that this is just... The Marlins loss, I guess, is worse because you scored 12 runs and still managed to lose a baseball game.
Yeah.
But this is just as bad. I mean, you controlled this entire baseball game, and you still wound up losing. I mean, I sit here and look at you and just say, whatever. That's how I feel, honestly.
Yeah. So I was angry about the Devin Williams thing, but let's be fair here. I have some numbers. So from late April to June, he had a 2.42 ERA, a 2.08 FIP in 24 games. Since the start of July, he's gone... Oh, I can't say this. He's gone back to the crap house, we'll say. He has a 6 ERA in 12 games. So there was that time in between where he was fine, but now he's doing bad again. And let's not get it to the point where it's another Clay Holmes where you just keep letting him blow up and blow up and blow up until mid to late August. And then you think, oh, maybe we should put Bednar in there instead, or maybe we should put Duvall in there instead. Don't let it go so far that it's going to become even more of a mess. The thing that made me the most angry in extra innings was Austin Wells. Because they actually did what you needed them to do before Wells came up, right?
Yep.
Jazz knocks Dominguez over to third, right? So there's 1 out. Volpe walks. All you need is a fly ball. All you need is a fly ball. And I joked on Blue Sky, I said, how is Wells going to F this up? That's what I said. He grounds. You can't lift the ball in the air. You can't really? You can't even try to do that, Austin
In the
Wells.
era of launch angle.
He has been abysmal this season. And the thing about it is, he started off rough last year. We talk about this all the time. He had really bad luck. He had the luck that Ben Rice seems to have now, where Ben Rice is hitting the crap out of the ball. If you see his baseball savant page, that guy should be having like a 900 OPS right now with the way he's hitting, but he has bad luck. Austin Wells is just bad in 2025. And the Yankees, we went through the numbers last week. I believe it was Friday's show as we were talking about the trades that were done. They've gotten rid of so much catching depth now that now there's almost a problem here now, because I don't think Wells can be their starting catcher. I really don't after this season.
Yeah. They've hamstrung themselves. They've forced it to be Wells for the future after one good year. They basically solidified themselves that Austin Wells is the catcher of the future. On the Devin Williams thing, I know there were Boone comments after the game the other day that one of the new guys, because the Yankees now have 4 closers, are going to have to take the job from Devin Williams. Stacey, can we stop acting like this is Mariano Rivera in his prime? What collateral does Devin Williams have built with the New York Yankees?
He's going to leave. He can leave anyway at the end of the season.
He's going to leave anyway. They're not going to pay him. They're not going to pay him $18 million a year to come close here after the year he's had specifically.
No.
And he hasn't built this unbelievable track record with the Yankees throughout his entire career. It's his first year here too. Why does he just have the job? And he hasn't done much this year to earn the job anyway, to be quite honest with you. I don't understand why Devin Williams is just granted the closer role. Like, if there's a year to go closer by committee, it's this year out of any year. If anything, I'll sit here and tell you, Luke Weaver deserves the closer job because he was good in it all year so far. And you know what? He took the team to the World Series as the closer last year. So I don't know how we've gotten to this point where Devin Williams is just the granted closer out of nowhere. I don't know how we got there at any point. And you're right on the Austin Wells thing. The fans have jumped all over the back of Anthony Volpe the entire season because they haven't been able to do it with Stanton all year because Stanton's been great. But can we acknowledge how bad Austin Wells has been all year? The base running blunder. He hasn't really thrown runners out at catcher, by the way, either. He hasn't been great behind the plate either, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's some analytic that tells you this frame rate's unbelievable, but he hasn't been able to throw runners out behind the plate. He hasn't been good catching this year. He hasn't hit for power. He hasn't really hit for average. They gave up on him in the leadoff role after opening day, which is the weirdest thing ever when we look back on it. They let him off on opening day and then gave up on it immediately. I don't know how you saw enough in one game. I don't understand how you can sit here and possibly think that Austin Wells is the catcher of the future. Again, late in this game, Volpe did exactly what you needed him to do in that spot. Jazz did too. And Jazz, by the way, who goes up there swinging to hit the ball 8,000 feet every time it goes up there, actually has a mature professional at bat, moves the runner over, and then Austin Wells is up there chopping at the ball, bolted into the ground, double play, and the inning is over. I mean, give me a break, Stacey. They say at bare minimum, you need to get that first runner in. They didn't get any. It's unbelievable.
If I had something in my hand that wasn't my phone, I would have thrown it because I was so frustrated, but I don't want to break my phone. And I'm not that old, in my 20s and early 30s when I used to get very angry, at playoff games and stuff. When they lost, I would throw things, and I don't do that anymore. But that double play nearly made me do that. That's how angry I was.
They're going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like that. Like we sit here and think, not us, but just the fan base in general, and this arrogant organization sits here and thinks it's a birthright to go to the postseason every single year. This is going to be 2 out of the last 3 years. They're going to miss the postseason and keep the manager. I mean, is there a sport where this happens? Forget baseball. Forget the Yankees. Forget anything. Is there a sport where you miss the playoffs 2 out of 3 years with any franchise and are just given carte blanche to come back next year? Am I sorry? Garrett Cole is the only major injury the Yankees have had this year, and he was out before the season started. So you can't use that as one of these major death blow injury excuses that you have. You acquired Max Fried, who could easily win the Cy Young this year, so you still had a Cy Young guy that replaced him in the rotation, and you knew Garrett Cole was going to be out the entire year. You didn't lose him at the All-Star break. What other major injury problems have the Yankees exactly had this year that's going to be Aaron Boone's excuse for why they missed the postseason? Aaron Judge missed 10 days. Is there one guy that missed it? That, in fact, Stanton. Better yet, you got more
Stanton than the first couple of months,
and that's an excuse to miss the entire postseason.
No, but I'm just saying that was a pretty big hole in the lineup, even when Judge was doing well.
Trent Grisham has been better than anyone could have expected. Ben Rice has been better than anyone could have expected. I'm sorry, Goldschmidt's start the first 2 months was better than anyone expected. Even Cody Bellinger is better than we thought he was going to be when he got over here. And this team's going to miss the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. And I don't care if they went to the World Series last year. As the organization likes to tell you, they should be in the World Series every single year. It's World Series or bust every single year. If that's the mentality, then going to the World Series last year should be looked at as a failure when they lost that series.
But it's
I
not
don't see
World
it
Series. It's not World Series or bust. It's the playoffs are a crapshoot. That's the new mantra around the Yankees. As long as you make it to the playoffs, that's good enough. It's not winning or bust. We talked about Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter calling them out. And, if we did this kind of thing, someone would be benched. There would be some sort of accountability. There's no accountability with this team. And even Ben Rice said something after the game on Sunday about how they need to start playing with a little bit of urgency. Like even he's seeing it, that there's something like not right with this team. And where does that start? I mean, it starts with the GM because he's the one who sets the roster, but something really needs to happen to snap this team out of it. And it might be firing Aaron Boone, but it's not going to happen.
Aaron Boone's going to speak publicly tomorrow with the John Boy podcast, so we'll see what winds up happening there. I don't know, and that's the thing too. The refusal to go out there and not fire Boone and shake things up. The Phillies did this 2 years ago with Rob Thompson, and it worked out tremendously. They went to the World Series with him after they replaced him for Girardi. Not to mention too, the Pittsburgh Pirates replaced their manager earlier this year. They have a better record since then than the Yankees do. Let that sink in. They have a better record since then than the New York Yankees do. And I don't want to sit here and hear how Hal Steinbrenner doesn't like to pay a manager to not work. He's paying 2 guys on the roster to not work.
Right.
He's paying, they ate 2 salaries to not play this year. Marcus Stroman's not playing, getting paid his $18 million. And DJ LeMahieu's getting paid his $18 million to not play this year. I give up, Stacey. I don't know what to say anymore about this arrogant franchise that thinks it's just a birthright to win 90 games and go to the postseason every single year, because they're going to miss the playoffs this year. They are.
I saw a post from someone that said the Yankees and the Rockies have the same winning percentage since a specific date in July. The Rockies, who were at one point looking like they weren't even going to win 35 games, are playing as well as the Yankees. So
they are now tied for the last wild card spot in the American League.
Yeah.
Tied. They had an 8-game lead in the division.
Yeah.
8-game lead. They're tied for let that sink in. They are tied for the last wild card spot.
Yeah.
And the team chasing them is the team they're playing right now, who has Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom, Jack Leiter, and Miro Kelly on their roster. Good luck. Good luck, guys.
Yep.
World Series or bust.
Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get texts from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings. We send out the lineups during the season. Some people didn't believe the actual lineup for Monday, and I had to send them the graphic to let them know that was the real lineup that Aaron Boone put out for Monday's game. We send out roster moves and breaking news, so you don't have to check social media. There is a 14-day free trial. Coming up, we're taking our Tuesday trek through the minors next.
Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball into the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action, so why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while all your friends are sitting on the beach getting sunburned. Now, I've been using FanDuel all year to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, there's fast payouts, and it makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. And whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching my bet right into the 9th inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm a part of the action always. Are you new to FanDuel? New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. So, Stacey, this was an atrocious loss, obviously. I don't know if it's the worst loss of the season, but it's definitely in competition. I want to say this.
I still think Friday against the Marlins is the worst one.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, and I'm sure there's a few that we're missing right now in our emotional state right after the game, but it's one of the worst losses of the year by far.
Yeah.
This day didn't exactly start off tremendous either. If you saw around 4 p.m. when the lineup got released, if you didn't have the same reaction I had, then I don't know if you've been watching baseball all season, especially the Yankees. I understand lineups change. I get that, Stacey. But if you're a baseball fan like me who grew up watching baseball in the early 2000s, or if you're a baseball fan like you who grew up watching baseball in the decades prior and watched these great Yankee teams, are we kidding? With, unrecognizable lineups from day to day. It's completely different. Look at this. Goldschmidt, Rosario, Cody Bellinger, Stanton, Austin Slater in the 5-hole, Jazz Chisholm, Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, Cobb. What? What is that? I mean,
and poor Slater gets hurt.
Yeah, but he's in the 5-hole, Stacey. He's hitting 5th. This guy was on the White Sox a month ago, and he's hitting 5th for the Yankees. Ahmed Rosario is hitting 2nd, where Aaron Judge normally hits. I know there's injuries, but dear God, Ahmed Rosario is hitting 2nd? What is going on? Who saw that lineup and thought this is a good idea? This is an unrecognizable lineup from the whole year.
When I saw that, I really thought that I was hallucinating because I get the alert from Instagram that says the Yankees just posted. I was like, oh, the lineup's up, because it was just after 5 o'clock. And I clicked on it, and I thought to myself, that can't be right. So I closed out of it, went back into it, because I really thought that maybe because they've done that. They did that earlier in the season where they put up a lineup that wasn't quite right. And I was looking at it going, what is this? And then they put the real lineup up maybe like a minute and a half later. No, it was the real lineup. And I just thought
talk
to
about
myself,
showing urgency as a franchise. That's the least urgent lineup I've ever seen ever.
Right. That's a punt lineup. That's
in game 1 of a series.
You win 2 of the first 3, and it's a Sunday, and you're kind of like, and you do the punt lineup that Boone was famous for. But he did it in game 1 of a series after they were swept out of Miami with your ace on the mound. You give him this.
Yeah, in a series, by the way, that you forgot to mention, against the team that you're chasing. That's chasing you.
That's chasing you. They're nipping on your heels.
Yeah.
For the second wild card spot after you led the division by 8 games at the end of May. May 28th, they were up by 8 games.
Yep. Another example, by the way, of them being arrogant and not taking teams seriously.
Yeah.
Another example. Because you put this lineup out in game 1 of a series.
And I know people will say they scored 5 runs and this and that. Sure.
No one cares.
Okay. But you can't start a game like that. You can't put a lineup out there like that. And people are not going to think you're serious about trying to win a baseball game when you put a lineup like that out. No. Oh, all right. Well, let's change gears just for a second, because we're heated. Look at us. Both of our faces are bright red because we're so mad.
Yeah.
We're going to go through the minors. Nothing major, just like a little bit of a trip through. So Scranton released or cut Andrew Velazquez. Remember Andrew Velazquez? He was with the Yankees. How many seasons ago was that? 3 seasons ago when he played shortstop? Mm-hmm. He was with the Rail Riders all season. He hit 244, 315, 342 with 4 home runs and 311 plate appearances. He also had 23 stolen bases in 26 attempts. So
the problem is, if you're going to hit 244 in AAA, there's no room to call you up to the major league level.
Right.
You're going to hit 150 in the majors. They're not going to call you up.
Yeah, so they cut him loose. He was with the Angels before he came back to the Yankees, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Spencer Jones, 1 for 13 so far in August. Now, granted, he came back after having back spasms. He was out 4 days, 3 games, but he walked and he stole a base, and now he's 20-20 on the season, 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Now, Scranton as a whole are 25-7 in the second half so far, but they're still a game and a half behind Syracuse in the standings.
They're led behind 2 dominant starters that could be called up by the Mets sooner rather than later if the Mets pitching staff struggles. So we'll see if Scranton could use the promotion from Syracuse to be able to catch them.
And then Somerset, this is my only note on Somerset because I thought it was really funny. They're also in second place in their division, and they're also behind a Mets affiliate, this time Binghamton, which I thought was kind of
The Rumble Ponies, I believe, right?
Yes, the Rumble Ponies. I know someone who works for them, so I see in
That
her
is a great
Instagram
name.
stories that, yeah. So I just thought that was really funny as I was going through everything. I was like, oh, that's interesting that both teams are behind Met affiliates. Tampa, nowhere near a division lead. They're 11-22 in the second half so far. And poor Roderick Arias, we've mentioned him on Minors Monday before. He's a shortstop, not having a good season at all. This is his batting line. 193, 313, 302 in 337 plate appearances. He does have 23 stolen bases in 29 attempts, but he has not finished a day this entire season with a batting average above 200.
That's a tough struggle. It's going to take some quite a mental hurdle to get over that.
And I mean, that's Tampa too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's up in Somerset. It's not like he's up in Hudson Valley, who I forgot to put here, but Hudson Valley has done well lately. And I believe they played Wilmington this week. And if I remember correctly, because I do get the emails from them, and they had a good showing against the Wilmington Blue Rocks. So good for them. Florida Complex League season is over. They finished 28-30. And this was interesting. The Dominican Summer League, the DSL Yankees are 20-25. The DSL Bombers are 24-21. The Bombers played the Yankees on Saturday, which I didn't realize the two Yankee teams played against each other. I had no idea. And the Yankees prevailed 3-0 over the Bombers. How odd is that? That's like an old timers day with Clippers against the Bombers.
Win-win.
Yeah. And the Bombers and the Yankees played against Colorado and the Rockies, because the Rockies two teams are DSL Colorado and DSL Rockies, which I
don't like it.
Also
get a little more original.
Because we've talked about this. We talked about this probably more than a month ago when the Dominican Summer League just started. And I mentioned how there are 52 or 53 teams. Some teams have 2, others don't. Some go by colors, some go by names, because some of the teams have actual players that they pay homage to with their team names. But when I saw that, because I was looking through the scoreboard and I said, does that say Rockies and Colorado? They couldn't come up with something else for them. So yeah, like the Mets are the Mets blue and the Mets orange and the Phillies are Phillies white and Phillies red. So boring. Guys, come up with names. Just that's all I ask for the Dominican Summer League.
Just a little more originality. A little more. It doesn't. I mean, I don't know what Dominican person is going to relate to the Rockies. They couldn't be further away from the Colorado Rockies.
That is true too. So that is our Tuesday trek through the minors. Expect Spencer Jones, hopefully, to pick things up in the coming week. We will check in on him a week from today and see how he's doing, but hopefully he's doing better. So coming up, we'll be previewing Game 2 of the series between the Yankees and Rangers, and the pitching matchups don't get any easier for the Yankees, and we're going to look at some items from around the league next.
Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. And whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on the course or off of it, you just need that little extra energy boost to stay sharp and energized. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape, ginger, lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the beverage cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that's the number 5hourenergy.com. You can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. The offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription offers. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. And guys, not only do we cover your team every day, but now we're giving you instant episodes after every single game. Check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman, and it appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. It also streams on our YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast. Stacey, it was announced that Aaron Judge will officially be activated for the game later today. Austin Slater hits the DL, the IL. Wow, I'm showing my age there.
I was going to say they haven't said that since 2019. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is exactly. Tuesday's game will be Will Warren 6-5 with a 4.64 for the Yankees. That game will be on Yes. They'll face former Yankee great Nathan Eovaldi 9-3 with a 1.49 ERA. So good luck on that one. Looks like another series loss for the Yankees.
Do you know how annoying it is that Nate Eovaldi is this good when he couldn't do anything when he was with the Yankees? Do you know how much that drives me crazy?
Yeah,
and he was good with the Red Sox. Like it just unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I mean, he helped the Red Sox win a World Series. He was that good with them. I mean, you know, not good. I mean, this is one of those things. You let a guy walk like that after needing the Tommy John surgery. They didn't like what they saw, and
he's had 2, right?
He's had two, and he still throws super hard too. Like I'd be afraid of a guy like that. That's gonna, I'd be afraid of a guy like that it feels like his arm's gonna explode at some point.
Yeah,
they hit Rodon in the Wednesday game, but I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, I'm gonna ask this just out of curiosity's sake. I know what your answer is. Wouldn't you let go of Boone tonight?
Yes.
Like, wouldn't that jolt something in this roster? You got to do something, right? I can't sit here and keep hearing the excuse of because Michael Kay keeps going with this narrative that Hal Steinbrenner doesn't like to pay people to not work. He's eating so many contracts on this roster right now.
Yeah,
I mean they're still eating. Last year, CeCe's original deal came off the books. They're still paying A-Rod a portion of money. Aaron Hicks is getting paid. DJ LeMahieu was getting paid. Marcus Stroman's getting paid. I'm sure there's a few that I'm forgetting too. Why would paying Aaron Boone's $500,000 salary kill them?
No,
I don't get it. That can't be the reason.
No,
I don't
know what the reason is. I really don't. But I mean, I said it last season. I wanted him fired after Game 1 of the World Series because of what he did with Nestor, and I knew it wasn't going to happen. But there has to be. We talk about accountability, and we talk about what Jeter and A-Rod said, but there needs to be accountability with Aaron Boone as well. Like something needs to happen, or else this is just going to continue. They'll miss the playoffs again, and I don't want to hear the excuses from this front office after that happens, because we're going to hear a ton of excuses. Well, Cole was out. We didn't have Heel for most of the season. Stanton was out. This and that, and it's just going to be like. Like, come on. Devin Williams playing well. They were playing well for 2 months. Okay. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like someone got a voodoo doll and all these guys started playing like little leaguers. Like, I don't understand. It's so strange.
Devin Williams now is allowed to run in 5 of his last 7 outings since the All-Star break.
Yeah. So let's keep him as the closer, even though we have 4 legitimate closers on the team right now that you can round robin and have a different guy every night.
I'd also like to bring this up too, which is a managerial problem. Now, I can't sit here and blame the manager for Max Fried not giving them more length. Not that they needed it, but they can't blame him for that. I can't blame them for the Yankees not scoring more runs to give the bullpen some bit of insurance.
Yeah, there were a couple of instances there where they could have scored earlier in the game.
Yeah, bases loaded,
Corbin, and they didn't. And as soon as they did that, you were just like, here we go.
Always comes back to bite you.
Yep.
I will say this though, in extra innings there with Volpe on first base. Why is Volpe not running there?
Right.
Why is he not? And that is a managerial call. Yep. That is a managerial call. That's the manager not being focused on what's going on in the game right there. At bare minimum, first of all, if Volpe gets thrown out at second base, Wells is still up. There aren't 2 outs. There's 1 out. So you're not risking that much. If he gets thrown out at second base, that's it. You add in the possibility of the ball being thrown away, which scores the runner on third. You had the possibility of the Rangers muffing it up and the runner scoring from third base. There's that. But you also had the possibility that if Volpe is safe there, it creates an alarming amount of pressure on the Texas Rangers to be able to get an out there to play the ball cleanly. Also, Texas at that point has to move the infield in. Yeah. So if Wells puts a ball in the outfield in the gap, it scores 2 runs, not 1. And if Wells hits a ball in the infield, unless it hits directly at a guy, it's getting through and scoring 2 runs. Instead, you don't send Volpe, leave the double play open, and you let...
With the way this team is in extra innings, how are you not having him run? Especially extra innings on the road. As soon as they got to extra innings, every single Yankee fan watching that game said, well, all right, it's a loss because they never win on the road.
Not to mention, too, you had to go to Austin Wells there, a lefty who has not hit well all season when Ben Rice was on the bench. In that spot, a guy who you absolutely know has the ability to put the ball in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And it's had a great year. I'm not going to get on him for the decision in the bottom of the inning, though. The people were killing him for intentionally walking Wyatt Langford and going to Young there. That one I'm not going to kill him for. Langford, I believe, had 3 hits on the game, so that one you can't really blame anyone for. That that made sense. That was the right call.
Yeah, but it's offensively, they just don't learn. They've had so many extra inning losses since the Manfred man was, what's the word? Implemented.
That's not bad luck.
It's the same pattern over and over again. They just can't do anything in extra innings. And I'm sick and tired of it because we always joke, oh no, they tied the game. They have to win this in 9 innings or else they're going to lose the game. But that's
not bad luck. That's bad strategy. That's poor management. That's not bad luck. Just some news from around the league before we get out of here, Stacey. Isaac Paredes, he will not go with season-ending surgery. He's going to attempt to return this year for the Astros. Kind of weird because they acquired Carlos Correa with the understanding that he was not going to return this year, and now he forgoes surgery and decides he wants to return. He's had a great rookie season. He was obviously the return that they got in that big trade in the offseason for Tucker. We'll see what winds up happening because that's a key addition if they get him. I don't know what they're going to do now, though. With Correa there. Austin Riley is going back on the IL for the Braves. It's the second time in 2 months. He's got an abdominal injury. They can't stay healthy at all, the Braves.
No.
Every 5 minutes there's another injury. It's insane how I don't like to use injuries as an excuse, but damn, the Braves get to use it this year. They're never healthy.
Who was it that Ellie De La Cruz hit on the head? Like jokingly, as he was running off the field. And I thought to myself, don't hit him too hard because with the way the Braves injuries are, you might he might pull a neck muscle or something. Like, don't do
Albies has been hurt multiple times. Acuna's been out multiple times. Olsen's been out. I mean, they're just Sale's been out now for months.
I was going to say Sale's hurt.
Ryder missed part of the start of the year. I mean, they cannot stay healthy. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Kyle Schwarber in the Phillies game today. It feels like you could just leave this in here every day for the news of the day.
Yeah.
Homered twice in this game, went 3 for 5, had 6 RBIs for the Phillies. He's now got 40 homers on the year. He's unbelievable, and he's another one that I regret the Yankees not going after.
Yep.
He would have fit a lot better than a lot of guys on this roster, that's for sure.
There's a whole list. If I could go back in time, I know a lot of people talk about wanting to go back to childhood, or maybe they want to go back to like the 90s when they were in college or something like that. I want to go back to 2018. And change some things that the Yankees have done since 2018.
I would go back to right after that 2017 postseason when you thought, all right, they lost, but all the momentum is on their side for the future.
Mm-hmm. And instead, it's 2025. The window is closing.
They went to 1 World Series.
Aaron Judge still doesn't have a ring. Aaron Boone is still the manager after blunder after blunder after blunder after getting swept in the 22 ALCS after the debacle of the 2024 World Series. And people will say, well, they made the World Series. It's silly to fire him. Again, the Nestor Cortez move should have been a fireable offense.
Yeah. If you would have sat here after that 2017 season and told me they have all these young players coming up, they have a lot of money coming off the payroll, and there are multiple generational talents that are becoming free agents in the coming years, and they have this young core, I would have told you by 2025 they'd have probably 2 World Series by now.
At least.
They've only been to 1.
Reminder, Fan Mail Friday is this Friday, and if you are not an insider, you can go to our YouTube page. You can click on the post tab on our channel, and I put up the post telling you that the deadline is Thursday, August 7th, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So get those questions in, and the insiders, you know what to do as well. So thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. You get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this episode of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you tomorrow.